Welcome to my channel Valuable Coins, All World. If you've ever wondered if those old coins you have lying around could be worth a fortune, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're diving into some of the rarest US coins, revealing their jaw-dropping values that will leave you amazed. Stick with us till the end. You won't want to miss what these hidden treasures could be worth. Let's get started. Top 1. Imagine holding a coin that you've passed by countless times in your daily life. A coin you've used at vending machines, dropped into parking meters, or flipped to make a decision. Now, imagine that very same coin isn't worth just 25 cents, but instead holds the power to change your financial life forever. This is the remarkable story of the United States of America Washington quarter dollar from the year 1972, a coin that appears deceptively ordinary but hides extraordinary value under the right conditions. Today, we're diving deep into the legacy, rarity, and surprising worth of this fascinating piece of American coinage history that could be sitting quietly in your pocket right now. The Washington quarter has long been a staple of American currency since its introduction in 1932. Designed by John Flanagan, it was created to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the nation's first president. The design features Washington's iconic profile on the obverse side, while the reverse for coins minted before 1999 carries the image of a majestic eagle with outstretched wings, perched on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing both strength and peace. This classic design became a defining image in U.S. coinage and was used consistently for decades, until the introduction of the 50-state quarters program in 1999. But long before that shift, the 1972 quarter quietly became one of the most sought-after coins among collectors, not because of its design change, but because of what makes some of these coins incredibly rare and valuable. So, what makes the 1972 Washington quarter so special? The answer lies in a perfect storm of minting details, die conditions, circulation history, and collector demand. First, let's talk about the minting process itself. During the early 1970s, the U.S. Mint was still refining its techniques following the transition away from silver coinage in the 1960s. The 1972 quarter, like other modern issues, was composed of a copper core with a nickel coating. However, variations in die use, metal quality, and striking pressure resulted in a range of quality outcomes. Some coins were struck with great precision, capturing every detail of Washington's hair, the word liberty, and the fine feathers of the eagle on the reverse. Others were struck off-center, understruck, or developed doubling errors where the lettering or imagery appears repeated or blurred, errors that can turn an average coin into a collector's jackpot. Error coins are particularly popular in the world of numismatics. One of the most coveted varieties of the 1972 quarter includes double die obverse errors, where the year, mint mark, or inscriptions like "In God We Trust" appear doubled due to a misalignment during the striking process. These double dies can be subtle or dramatic, but even the most minor doubling, when authenticated by professional grading services, can increase the coin's value many times over. Then there are examples with die cracks, clipped planchets, and even coins struck on the wrong planchet altogether. These anomalies elevate the coin from being simply a part of mass-produced currency to becoming a unique and cherished artifact. But rarity alone doesn't determine a coin's value. Condition is king in coin collecting, and that's where the grading system comes into play. Coins are assessed on a scale of 1 to 70, with anything graded MS-65 and above, mint state, being considered in exceptional condition. The higher the grade, the fewer signs of wear and handling a coin has, and the more it appeals to serious collectors. A 1972 Washington quarter in average circulated condition might still only be worth face value, but one that has never seen a cash register, one that remains sharp, lustrous, and unblemished, well, that's where things get interesting. Now, let's turn our attention to how collectors and enthusiasts value the 1972 quarter in today's market. It's not just a matter of rarity or condition, it's also about demand. There are people who've spent years building complete sets of Washington quarters, and they are always on the lookout for the finest examples from each year. For these collectors, finding a 1972 quarter in near-perfect condition or with an acknowledged mint error is a prize worth fighting for at auction. The competition drives up prices, sometimes beyond what anyone might expect for a small coin. The thrill of coin collecting lies in this exact possibility. It's in discovering the hidden gem in a drawer of forgotten change, in recognizing the historical and artistic value in a common object, and in knowing that what others overlook, you've taken the time to appreciate. Coins like the 1972 Washington quarter aren't just currency. They're miniature time capsules. They represent a piece of America's economic story, art, and technological advancement. They connect the average citizen to the broader narrative of history in a way that few other collectibles can. And here's the truly incredible part. Among the known specimens of the 1972 Washington quarter, there have been rare examples that achieved almost mythic status due to their pristine condition and distinct minting errors. In one particularly extraordinary case, a flawless, high-grade 1972 quarter, combined with a prominent die variety, was sold to an eager collector at a prestigious coin auction for a jaw-dropping total of $150,000. Top 2. One such coin that has surprised even seasoned collectors is the United States of America Washington quarter dollar from the year 1982. At first glance, it may appear just like any other quarter, featuring the familiar image of George Washington on the obverse, a design that Americans have known and used for generations. But dig a little deeper, and you'll find out that the 1982 Washington quarter is not just a coin, it's a potential treasure. With select examples commanding astronomical prices in the numismatic world. To understand what makes the 1982 quarter so special, we need to revisit a unique moment in U.S. mint history. The early 1980s marked a turbulent time for coin production in America. Rising metal costs and budget restrictions put pressure on the mint, leading to reduced proof sets and changes in coin quality and production volume. In fact, 1982 was one of those rare years when no official mint sets were released for collectors. This simple decision led to a dramatic effect decades later. Most 1982 quarters were released directly into circulation and subjected to everyday use. Unlike other years where collectors could count on finding pristine coins and sealed government-issued sets, high-grade 1982 quarters became unusually difficult to find, especially in mint condition. But there's more to the story. The 1982 Washington quarter wasn't just rare in high quality, it was also a year known for varieties and minting anomalies. One of the most famous among collectors is the no mint mark error, where quarters struck at the Philadelphia Mint were accidentally left without a mint mark. These no-mark varieties are already scarce, but when combined with excellent condition and strong details, their value skyrockets. Even more intriguing are double die errors and off-center strikes, which can result in visibly distorted or doubled features like the lettering or date. These aren't the kind of errors that require magnification to spot. Many of them are clearly visible to the naked eye and are highly sought after. Now let's talk about grading. The condition of a coin plays a crucial role in determining its value. A well-worn quarter from 1982 that's been passed from hand to hand for decades might still only be worth face value. But a coin that somehow escaped circulation, retained its sharp details, bright luster, and crisp edges can be a game-changer. Grading agencies like PCGS or NGC evaluate coins based on a scale from 1 to 70, with a grade above MS65 considered exceptional. A 1982 quarter in such pristine condition, especially with a known error or anomaly, becomes a magnet for serious collectors who are often willing to pay top dollar to add it to their collection. So how does a simple 1982 quarter, once used for buying a soda or parking a car, transform into a valuable collectible? It all comes down to a combination of rarity, condition, historical context, and collector demand. The scarcity of mint-quality coins from that year, due to the lack of mint sets, means fewer untouched examples exist today. Add to that the fascination with errors and varieties, and you have the perfect recipe for a coin that punches far above its weight class in terms of value. What makes this even more thrilling is the idea that such a coin might still be out there, overlooked in a change jar or tucked away in an old coin purse. This is why coin collecting is such a captivating hobby. It's not just about monetary gain. It's about the excitement of the hunt, the beauty of the details, and the historical journey each coin represents. Every time you sift through your spare change or come across a forgotten stash of coins from decades past, you're essentially stepping into a treasure hunt. And for those lucky enough to spot the right coin in the right condition, the rewards can be life-changing. Among all the examples of the 1982 Washington quarter ever discovered, there exists a particularly pristine and rare specimen that stunned experts and collectors alike when it surfaced. Its immaculate condition, Striking clarity and unique variety made it stand out in a crowd of millions. When this coin was brought to auction, the bidding was fierce, with collectors from across the country eager to get their hands on such a remarkable piece of history. In the end, the final sale price of this exceptional 1982 Washington quarter reached a staggering total of $110,000. Top 3. Imagine going through your pocket change one ordinary afternoon, expecting nothing more than a few dimes, maybe a tarnished penny or two, and then you find a quarter from 1986. It's just another coin, right? Something you've used countless times to buy coffee, feed a meter, or hand to a kid for a gumball machine. But what if I told you that this simple 1986 Washington quarter dollar could actually be worth a small fortune? Yes, the very coin that has likely passed through hundreds of hands, carried in pockets and tossed into drawers, could secretly be one of the most valuable pieces of modern American currency if you know what to look for. The 1986 Washington quarter dollar might not strike most people as anything special at first glance. It features the classic design, George Washington's stoic profile on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan, with the familiar United States of America, Liberty, and In God We Trust inscriptions. The reverse shows the heraldic eagle, wings spread with bold strength, perched atop a bundle of arrows, olive branches beneath. It's an image as American as the flag, but hidden beneath this ordinary appearance is the potential for incredible value, if you're holding the right coin in the right condition. What makes this particular year so fascinating to collectors isn't necessarily that 1986 was a historically significant year. It's that minting variations, production quality, and the ever-changing eye of numismatic demand have made high-grade quarters from this year increasingly rare and desirable. During the 1980s, coin collecting took on a more serious tone among hobbyists, and attention to errors and production quirks became more intense. One small mistake by the U.S. Mint, whether it's a missing mint mark, a double die, or even an off-center strike, can turn a common coin into an extraordinary treasure. Now, let's talk about condition, which is key to understanding value. While millions of quarters were produced in 1986 across multiple mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, the vast majority were spent, circulated, scuffed, and worn down by decades of use. The few that escaped this fate, remaining untouched and unblemished in rolls or collector albums, have now become the crown jewels of modern coinage. A 1986 quarter in mint state, especially with a grade of MS-67 or higher, is exceptionally hard to find and commands serious attention in auctions and private sales. These coins display pristine surfaces, razor-sharp details, and radiant luster, qualities that catch the trained eye of serious collectors. On top of that, certain errors from this year have sent coin enthusiasts into a frenzy. One notable variety is a possible double die obverse, where letters or numbers appear slightly shadowed or duplicated due to a misaligned die. Another rarity includes quarters struck on the wrong planchet. Imagine a quarter accidentally minted on a nickel-sized blank, or even worse, a foreign coin blank. These minting mishaps, while rare, do happen, and when they're tied to a relatively modern year like 1986, they often go unnoticed by the average person, which only adds to their rarity when discovered decades later. Another layer of excitement comes from the thrill of the hunt. Coin collecting is unlike any other hobby because it doesn't require expensive equipment or elite access. Anyone, anywhere, can stumble upon a gem just by looking closely. That's what makes coins like the 1986 quarter so compelling. People across the country are digging through their jars of change, sorting through rolls from the bank, and scanning old collections passed down from grandparents, all hoping to strike gold in the form of a rare coin. The 1986 Washington quarter reminds us that value is often hidden in plain sight. It's not always the oldest or shiniest coin that turns out to be valuable. It's the one with the right combination of condition, rarity, and intrigue. That's why collectors never stop searching. Every coin has a story, and some stories are worth a lot more than 25 cents. So, the next time you hold a quarter in your hand, take a second to really look at it. What year is it? What condition is it in? Are there any subtle errors or odd features that make it unique? Because while most 1986 quarters are still just pocket change, there's one documented example, struck to near perfection, preserved against all odds, and carrying both historical curiosity and collector appeal. That sold for an eye-popping total of $95,000.